Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you were there? Of course you have. Your brain sometimes has the reliability of a Wi-Fi signal during a thunderstorm. You try to remember a name, a date, where you left your keys, and it's just poof, gone. But what if I told you there's a secret back door into your memory? A way to get information to stick, not by straining and cramming, but by tricking your brain into remembering without it even knowing it's doing any work. This isn't about memorizing boring lists. This is about hidden memory, and it's ridiculously simple. Let's start with a little story. I need you to remember 3 random things for me: a pink elephant, a tub of peanut butter, and a scientist in a lab coat. Got it? Good. Now don't think about them. Seriously, try not to. I'll wait. Are you thinking about the pink elephant smearing peanut butter on a scientist's lab coat? Of course you are. Your brain just created a memory without your permission. That, my friends, is the power of the first hidden technique, the absurd connection. Your brain is lazy. It tunes out boring stuff. Show it something weird, illogical, or funny, and it snaps to attention like a meerkat spotting a hawk. The brain goes, well, that doesn't belong here. Better flag this. And just like that, it's glued in. So, you need to remember to buy milk, eggs, and stamps? Don't just repeat the list. Picture a giant egg stamping a passport onto a carton of milk. It's silly, it's stupid, and you will not forget it. You're not memorizing. You're directing a tiny weird movie in your head. The memory forms as a byproduct. Okay, ready for technique number 2? This one is even sneakier. It's called location, recollection. Your ancient ancestors didn't need to remember their Wi-Fi password, but they absolutely needed to remember where the berry bush was, where the fresh water was, and where that grumpy saber-toothed tiger liked to nap. Your brain is hardwired to remember locations. So let's use that. Think of a place you know incredibly well, your own home. Now, in your mind, take a walk from your front door to your kitchen. See the path clearly. Now, let's say you need to remember a presentation talking about growth, partnerships, and data. Here's what you do. In your mind, as you walk through your front door, you see a giant, vibrant plant, a monstera maybe, that has grown so big it's blocking the hallway. That's your growth. You have to squeeze past it. Next, on the console table, you see 2 mugs of coffee sitting there, steam rising, as if 2 people are in the middle of a meeting. That's your partnership. Finally, you walk into the kitchen and your fridge is covered in magnetic letters and numbers, all swirling into graphs and charts. That's your data. You've just created a memory palace. You didn't try to remember the words, you just attached them to a familiar journey. Your brain accepts this as a spatial memory, which is one of its oldest and strongest skills. You'll walk into that presentation, mentally stroll through your house, and the concepts will be right where you left them. Now, for the grand finale, the technique that works while you're literally doing nothing, I call it the spaced-out secret. Cramming is like trying to build a brick wall without mortar. It looks okay for a second, and it all falls down. Your brain strengthens memories, not when you're first learning, but in the spaces between learning. It's like a mental cement that needs time to dry. But how do you do this without studying? Easy. You cheat. Let's say you meet someone named Frank, who is a beekeeper. Instead of repeating Frank, Frank, Frank until you sound insane, you have a quick, weird thought about him. Frank the beekeeper. Then you move on. But here's the secret part. An hour later, for no reason at all, just ask yourself, what was that guy's name? Frank something. Oh yeah, the beekeeper. You've just forced your brain to retrieve the memory, strengthening it. Do it again before you go to bed. Who was that interesting person I met today? Frank, the beekeeper. And then maybe once the next morning. Each time you successfully pull that memory out of the filing cabinet, you're not just reading the file, you're putting it in a stronger, more accessible folder. You're not scheduling study time, you're just having a random thought twice. That's it. The spacing does the work for you in the background. So, there you have it. 3 ways to hack your memory without it ever catching on. The absurd connection. Make it weird and your brain can't ignore it. Location, location, recollection. Use places you know to stash information. The spaced out secret. Quickly recall something a few times over a day and let your brain do the heavy lifting while you sleep. You don't need a photographic memory, you just need to be a little more creative and a little less forceful. Stop trying to remember and start giving your brain things it's built to remember. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go find my keys, which I imagine are currently being used by a talking squirrel to unlock a tiny, invisible door. See? It works.